Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet some cherries, which is a request I received. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, the large ones, the size is 8.5 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters or 3¼ inches by 3¼ inches. These medium cherries crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook are 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters or 2½ inches by 2½ inches. These small cherries crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook are 5 centimeters wide by 4½ centimeters or 2 inches wide by 1¾ inches. I'll be using Catona cotton. I haven't done one with Catona cotton yet, so I'll tell you the size at the end of the video. I've got 115 hot red and 515 emerald. I've got a 2.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in the ends and to stitch the leaf on, and I've got scissors. Now I'm going to start on the cherries first. I've got my 115, the hot red, and I start with 7 chain. For row 1 I work 2 double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. A double crochet is a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the stitch, so the 3rd from the hook, and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through the remaining loops. We need 1 more double crochet in that same stitch. Then we work 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. A half double crochet is a half treble using UK terms. You put the yarn around the hook, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we work 1 slip stitch in the following stitch. So we put the hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. Then we work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch and 2 double crochet into the last stitch. And that's the first row. The different stitches just give it the shaping for the top. For row 2 we start with 1 chain and turn our work, and we're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch, including in the top of the slip stitch. A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet we put the hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through the 2 loops. So 1 single crochet in each of our 7 stitches. For row 3 we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 7 stitches. For row 4, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches. So we put our hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop. We've got 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through the 3 loops. Then we work 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 5, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. And for row 6, we start with 1 chain and turn, and we're going to work a joined single crochet over the 3 stitches. So we put the hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the last stitch and bring up a loop. We've got 4 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. And that's the cherry done, except for the neatening row. For the neatening row, we start with 1 chain. We don't turn, but it wouldn't matter if you did. And we work a slip stitch in each stitch around. So we put our hook into the stitch and bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. We find a suitable place not too far from the edge to put our hook. And we try not to pull our work too tight. And once we get back to the beginning of the row, we fasten off. And that's the first cherry done. Now the next cherries work the same. We start with 7 chain. We work 2 double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. One half double crochet in the next stitch, a slip stitch in the following stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochet in the last stitch. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each of the 7 stitches. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and turn and work 1 single crochet in each stitch. For row 4, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 5, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches. For row 6, we start with 1 chain and turn, and we work a joined single crochet over the 3 stitches. And then we work our neatening row. We work 1 chain and we work 1 slip stitch in each stitch around. Now I'll continue working my slip stitch in each stitch around and end off, and then I'll weave in my ends. When I weave in the ends, I pull it down a little bit in this centre part just to give it a bit more shape. So I'll finish this and weave in my ends, and I'll be back and we'll work these stems. Now there's the 2 cherries. For the first one, I join my 515, the emerald, just at the top of the cherry in that little dent bit there. And I work 14 chain. And I fasten off. And that's the first one done. For the second, I join in the same place. And I work 10 chain for this one. Now I'm going to join it to the first one towards the top of the stem. So I'm going to work a slip stitch into each of the last 4 chain, starting from the 4th from the top. So a slip stitch into each of those last 4 chain just to join the 2 stems together. It's a little bit fiddly. And the last one can be a bit difficult. And I fasten off. And that's the bunches of cherries. Now for the leaf, I've still got my 515, the emerald, and I start with 9 chain. I work 1 slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the following stitch. Then I work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. One half double crochet in the next stitch, then slip stitch into the last stitch, then work 2 chain and then slip stitch into that last stitch. We're going to work into the back loop of our chain now. We work 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into each of the following 3 stitches. I'm working over the top of this end. I'm holding it against my work and crocheting over the top of it. We work 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, a single crochet in the following stitch, and slip stitch in the end of the chain and fasten off. Leave a long tail if you like to stitch it to your stem. And that's the leaf done. I'll just weave in the ends except for this one that I'll use to stitch it to the stem, and I'll be back and we'll put it together. Now there's my pieces. I've just got the cherry and the leaf. So all I have to do to make these up is stitch the leaf to the top of the stem. So I'm going to stitch mine on this side for this one. So I'll stitch it on there and I'll be back and show you the finished cherries. And there's the finished cherries. The size is 7 centimetres by 7 centimetres, or 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my Facebook group, the details of my Patreon and my website where I have my patterns. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.